True story. The first thing I ever learned how to cook were eggs. I was maybe 7 years old at the time, a latchkey kid. Both mom and dad worked. We didn't have a whole lot of money growing up. So my mom taught me how to make basic scrambled eggs. And I remember having such a sense of empowerment that I could make food to sustain myself. Well, those scrambled eggs I made as a kid may have provided sustenance, but they probably weren't that good. They were probably pretty dry and crusty. And you know what? A lot of us continue to make scrambled eggs that just aren't that great. Well, today I'm going to show you 5 secrets for making perfect scrambled eggs. And you know what? It only takes about 5 minutes. Here's how to do it. Okay, so for this basic scrambled eggs recipe, I'm going to be working with 4 eggs. So I'm assuming you know how to crack an egg, so we're just going to crack these guys right into our bowl here. And by the way, you'll notice that I'm working with brown eggs, and some people often wonder if there's a difference, nutritionally between brown eggs and white eggs. And no, not really. The only difference that I've seen is that brown eggs are laid by chickens that have red feathers and red earlobes versus chickens with white feathers and white earlobes. So there you go. The eggs are in the bowl. Here is secret number 1. Use half and half or whole milk or heavy cream. And I just like to pour about, we'll say a tablespoon or 2 into this mix. And what this is going to do is this is going to add lots of nice richness to these eggs. I would stay away from non-fat milk or like 2% milk, because that would just make it thinner. For scrambled eggs, you want a nice creaminess, and this half and half or cream is really going to work out well. I also like to season with some salt and pepper. It's funny, in culinary school, adding pepper to eggs was a no-no, because when you served your customer, some people didn't like the black specks in their eggs. Well, you know what? When I'm making eggs for myself, I don't care. I like to add and season right from the beginning. Okay, so our eggs are whisked. Now that brings us to our second secret. Secret number 2 may not be a big surprise to you, but that is to use a non-stick skillet. Non-stick skillets were born to make eggs. Now, most of the time when I'm cooking, I use stainless steel or aluminum or cast iron, but when I'm making eggs, non-stick is the absolute way to go. Okay, we are ready to start cooking, and that leads us to secret number 3, and that is to use a nice pat of butter in your pan. So I'm going to use about a tablespoon of butter here. You can always use more if you'd like, or a little bit less. And I'm going to heat this over low and just melt this butter until it just starts to bubbles. Then I'll pour in the eggs. And as you see this, the butter is just starting to melt. You don't want it to get too brown, otherwise that's going to be too hot and scald the eggs. We don't want that. We want nice, low, and easy. So this butter is just starting to bubble. Now is the time to add the eggs. Now, to cook these eggs, this is really only going to take about 5 minutes or less. And that leads me to secret number 4, and that is we are going to cook these low and slow. So we're going to cook these over low heat. And by doing that, that won't lead the eggs to kind of like seizing up and getting all dry and crumbly and just not very good. By cooking them nice and low, that is going to enable these to form nice, beautiful, almost like curds. So I've started my timer here, and after about a minute, what you're going to want to start doing is take your spatula and just gently start mixing the eggs. And you can see they're already starting to form. They're already starting to coagulate. And again, I'm over at about low, maybe medium low heat right now. And you just want to keep moving the eggs about. You don't want any of that kind of like crusty stuff to form at the edges of the pan. I mean, if you like your eggs really dry, I guess so, but most people I know like their scrambled eggs nice and soft and fluffy, myself included. Okay, and you can see these eggs are already really starting to take form. I'm going to turn down the heat as low as possible on this. And you can see they're already setting up. So just kind of gently move this spatula around. Have you ever been to a hotel in Europe and eaten at one of the morning like brunch / breakfast things? I don't know what it is about Europe, and guys, I love Europe. I try to go every time I can, but every time I go to Europe, the eggs they serve are so runny. It's like crazy. I don't like runny eggs. So as you can see, these are just about done, and this leads me to secret number 5. Before you think your eggs are actually cooked to your liking, take them off the heat. That means right now, I am turning this guy off, and I am going to let residual heat carry these guys through. A lot of folks make the mistake of they cook their eggs until they're kind of done to their liking in the pan, but by the time they turn off the heat and they wait a few minutes, the eggs have seized up and they become too dry and not very good. But these look perfect. So here we have perfect, fluffy, creamy scrambled eggs in 5 easy steps. Now guys, since you've watched this long, I'm going to throw in a bonus step that I like to do for my eggs that just makes them taste better and more visually appealing. Just put my eggs on a plate here, and then what I like to do is just sprinkle a little bit of dried parsley right over the top. And this is going to give it a nice herby flavor. And it's also going to make it visually more appealing. You don't have to do this, of course, but I like to do it just because it gives the eggs a nice brighter note, a little more complexity, and frankly, it just looks nicer. So those are 5 simple steps to really up your scrambled egg game. Try these out. Let me know what you think, if they help you. And if you guys have any tips for making perfect scrambled eggs on your own, I'd love to hear those in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching I Wanna Cook. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do. And if you have any requests or questions about something in the kitchen or something you want to learn how to make, please put that in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.